Right, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at the Pythagoras theorem. The Pythagoras theorem. So the Pythagoras theorem applies only on a right-angled triangle. So you can only apply it on a right-angled triangle. So if we have got a right-angled triangle ABC, where our right angle is at B, we can also name the sides AB, BC, and AC, or we can label them with small letters, where the side small letter C is made by the angle C, and the side small letter B is small letter A is made by the angle A, and the side small letter B is made by the 90-degree angle B. Now, with that in mind, we can also name these sides. So the longer side, which is opposite the 90-degree angle in a right angle triangle, is called a hypotenuse. And the other smaller sides, we call them the legs. Right? These sides are the ones that will be perpendicular to each other. So a hypotenuse, which is the longer side, AC, which we also call the small letter b, is the longest side, which is opposite the right-angled triangle in a right-angled triangle. And then the legs AB are the sides that are perpendicular to each other, that is in a right-angled triangle. So now you know how to name these sides. So we've got the hypotenuse opposite the 90-degree angle, which is the longest side, and then the legs, which are the sides which are perpendicular to each other. Okay. Now, Pythagoras theorem is a theorem which was found to work to solve these sides. So the Pythagoras theorem shows the relationship between the hypotenuse and the legs. So the hypotenuse squared will be equals to the sum of the squares of the two legs. Right. So in this case, AC squared will be equals to AB squared plus BC squared. And small letters B squared will be equals to A squared plus C squared. So we can write this in different ways, right? Depending on what you are looking for. If you are given the dimensions of the legs and you're asked to find the hypotenuse, we can say the hypotenuse will be equals to the square root of the sum of the squares of the legs, which is the first scenario there. And then if you are asked to find the leg A, then you have to make A subject of the formula and then solve for A in this case, which will be A will be equals to square root of B squared minus C squared. The same also if you are asked to find C, you make C, you write the Pythagoras theorem down, and then you solve for C like this. Now, let's do an example. Let's say you are given an example where they say calculate the length of AB given this triangle where small letter B is 9 centimeters and small letter A is 12 centimeters, where the angle C is 90 degrees. So we identify the hypotenuse as that angle which is opposite the 90-degree angle C. So in triangle ABC, C is 90 degrees, meaning that using the Pythagoras theorem, AB squared will be equals to AC squared plus BC squared, which means hypotenuse is equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, which is the legs. So in this case now we solve for AB, which will give us AB will be equals to the square root of 12 squared plus 9 squared, which gives us 15, meaning that our side AB will be 15 centimeters. Let's do another example. So in this example, they want us to calculate the length of DE. You are given the triangle DE, where E is this 90-degree angle. So we can use Pythagoras theorem. DF will be hypotenuse. And then in this case, we are looking for DE. You make DE subject of the formula and you solve for DE. In this end of you solve for DE. Okay. sorry. So in this case, we were asked to look for df. So we solve for df, sorry. So df will be equals to df squared, which is, it will be equals to 17 squared minus 15 squared, which is our df will be the hypotenuse, should be equals to the sum of the squares of the other side. So in this case, it will give us 8 meters. And then example number 3 again, they say calculate the length of PR. You are given your triangle PQR, and then triangle PQR, angle R is 90 degrees, meaning that our Pythagoras theorem will state that PQ squared will be equals to PR squared plus QR squared. And then this will substitute the values. Now we're solving for PR squared, which will be 51 squared minus 45 squared. And find the square root of that, we get PR will be equals to 24 units. Moving on, you are given another example. 4, they say in triangle ABC, angle B is 90 degrees. You are given the dimension of small letter c, the dimension of small letter a, which are sides. You sketch the triangle first, and then you write down the Pythagoras theorem. In this case, it will be b squared will be equals to a squared plus c squared. And then now we substitute with values. It's going to be b squared will be equals to 24 squared plus 18 squared. And then we solve for b. We find the square root of 24 squared plus 18 squared, which will give us b is equals to 30 units. Okay, so now please go and attempt a task in your textbook, and I believe there is a quiz for you to do. Okay.